Eat this.
Don't touch that dial. It's time for Tech Talk with Chad Hembree, featuring the latest and greatest in today's technology, with a little fun along the way.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Oh God, here we go again. Dork alert.
Hello and welcome to Tech Talk with Chad Hembree. I'm your host, Chad Hembree, back from hiatus.
Who are you?
Where you guys did a fine job on Tech Talk without Chad Hembree, and I very, very much appreciate it. I want to thank Jack Cates and Dean Buttrey for being in the studio with me. We have a lot of news to talk about. Of course, the huge thing going on this week, net neutrality. Back again, and this time passed in some form, whatever you want to say. But before we get to that, we got a few other stories I want to talk about. First of all, let's talk about WikiLeaks for a minute. Now, Jack, you and I pretty much agree. We don't like the site. We think it puts soldiers in danger, and we've talked about it before.
I think it puts countries, not only the United States, but others, I think it puts all of them at risk, not just the soldiers. It puts the citizenry at risk. It's a ridiculous site. I don't know. Frankly, I'm astounded that some government hasn't already assassinated the people involved in it. That I really am amazed that they have not met some heinous so-called accidental end. It really does blow my mind that this site has lasted as long as it has.
Well, there are actually some people out there that believe that there's some good to this site. Dean? Tell us why.
I believe we need transparency. Now, risking lives, no, there is a line. War is war. Stand by your country and your soldiers. I agree with all that. But there needs to be transparency in government.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement, and I think that some of the things that WikiLeaks has posted, I have no problem with them posting.
Right.
Things that embarrass politicians, things that, whatever the case may be. A lot of this stuff is just transparency. This is what your government is really doing stuff. But when they start posting troop movements, when they start posting defense installation and information, when they start posting that kind of stuff, you're going way over the line there. Exactly. There is no country in the world, United States, China, Russia, otherwise, anybody, that deserves to have their defense systems posted for every single person on this world to have access to.
I think that military should be exempt from it. I really do. I think that that's where they draw the line. Because what happens, even if you leak older military stuff, you're putting somebody at risk, some soldier or his family or general or whatever, at risk because of something you've put out there. And all those people did was their job. They did what they were told to do when they were told to do it. They didn't have that, when you're a soldier, you do a soldier's job. And they should not have to worry about their safety or information getting leaked after they leave that job in their home back in civilian life.
Right. Especially considering, you have soldiers that, yes, they were soldiers, they did their jobs. They're not soldiers anymore. Now they're parents, they're mothers, they're fathers, they're wives and husbands,
yes,
and their military career is gone. So why re-enlist them without their, this is putting them right back on the firing line, like you said.
Especially the informants.
Yeah.
Because they took a big risk in doing what they did to start with.
Mm-hmm. They did. It's information like that, and I'll tell you something else too. Information where law enforcement is concerned,
Oh, yes,
that
yeah,
could a witness relocation. That's, I don't know that WikiLeaks has ever done anything with that, but they could. That's their purview. That's the way that they operate. We do witness relocation to protect people from gangs, from the mafia, from reprisals from people with affluence. They're there to protect people who did the right thing. Period. And putting them at risk, I don't care if there is something good coming of the site. By bringing the bad stuff in, by bringing the things in that they are using in WikiLeaks, it's just wrong. The site shouldn't exist. Because what's happening is that he is pushing it, I really do believe, strictly for his own gain. This is not about transparency. This is not about, I want to show you what your government's doing. No. This is about making money. And controversy creates money, period. You look at the people who eagerly donate to WikiLeaks' cause in the thousands of dollars.
I agree. Of course, I'm on your side. And Dean, I do understand the transparency of government, and there were a lot of people that ran on that this last election.
Yeah, it's just that's BS. No, I mean, I completely agree with military and any whip pro stuff that would come up. Yeah, I mean, I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I got discharged, didn't see combat or anything, but if I would have, no, I wouldn't want that information out there. Mm-hmm. But as far as politicians and government actions and where money is going, open book accounting is what you call it in corporations.
And I'll tell you, Dean, I absolutely, for that stuff, for those things, I agree with you. For those sorts of things, sure, I absolutely do agree with you. You're 100% right. I think that things that are going on in government, we need, as a people, to know some of this stuff. We're asking our citizenry to vote, but we're giving them 20% of the information that they need to make a decision.
Yeah, blind faith works in religion, not in politics.
Right, and what we need to do is we need to give them the information that they need. And I think that might even, doubtful, but fingers crossed maybe, might even help to bring down a little bit of the mudslinging in campaigns if we can start putting real facts out there, because that's the problem. There's no facts to put out there.
But it takes an extremist to go way, way over the line before we rein it back in and get somewhere acceptable. Because if someone barely pushes the envelope, it's going to get pushed back. You got to push it off the table, which is what he's doing.
Well, I can see that.
It needs to be reined in, the military stuff. And
yeah.
I mean, it needs to be reined in. But he's pushed it to a point now that we can never go back.
I see your point. Yeah, I see your point. And from a sociologist's point of view, you're right. And a historian's point of view, that's where change happens.
I so wish I had a couple Nerf guns right now. Anyway, Apple did yank the WikiLeaks app from their leaks site. From their site. Yes, whatever. Anyway, don't expect to find a WikiLeaks app on iTunes. It's gone, okay, from the Apple Store. I thought that was a pretty big move for Jobs.
Yeah.
And good support.
And I think you're going to really be seeing this happen more and more because controversy also creates fear among companies. Do we really want to be linked with this? And so you're going to see a lot of corporations probably following in Apple's footsteps.
But pulling the app restricts your freedom of information, freedom of speech.
But it didn't stop the site. You still go in your browser and go to the site. We're not blocking it.
True.
Yeah, they're just saying we're not going to sell a $1.99 app to support these people.
Well, it shouldn't have been sold anyways.
Well, that's what it was. Though.
Yeah, it should have been a free app.
Well, what are you, an Android user? You think things should be free?
Yes.
I was playing Angry Birds Seasons. I was just having a good time playing it. Just playing away, and a friend of mine sat down and was like, "Oh, that game's awesome! I got to get that. Is it? How much was it?" I said, "It's free." Oh, okay. And they whip out their iPhone and they're 99 cents. I was like, don't be a cheapskate, just buy the game. But still, the point is it wasn't free on there. Of course, they don't have ads either, so that's pretty cool. All right, something that you and I both have been waiting for, 3D TV. That you don't need glasses for, right?
Yep.
And we were so excited. Dean and I have been right on this. Oh yeah, it was at CES. We're loving it. It's going to be great. Toshiba released their first one. It's 12 inches. 12, 1 foot. Yes. 12 inches. $2,900. Why not just go 3? I mean, heck, if you're gonna be so insane to make something so outrageous, why not $3,000? 12-inch screen, okay? That's not the worst of it. In order for the 3D effect to work, you have to sit 24 inches from it. Yeah, okay. So
you don't need glasses anyway.
That's perfect, Dwayne. Yes, you don't need glasses anyway. And you have to sit within a 40-inch 40 degree angle of viewing. Okay. But that's okay. They've got bigger ones coming out that's going to change it. They have,
for how much?
I don't know the price, but they've got a 20-inch that's going to come out, and you can sit 3 feet from it.
Yeah, of course. At least there's one thing though.
What?
I always read the subtitles.
Okay, 2 things. And when you have a viewing party for something in 3D, you don't have to worry about the people being disconnected from each other because they're like this. All of their heads are like 2 inches apart.
I want the 7-inch version. They say, not only does it look like it's jumping out at me, my nose keeps hitting the screen. It really is jumping out at me.
Wouldn't one of those come with an attachment that just fits on your hat bill?
That's right.
It's right here.
They are the glasses.
Is the image just really distorted? It's like those old things that used to everybody. You hold your nose to it and you slowly come away and get cross-eyed and it turns to 3D.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's it. That's how it works.
The image jumps out, yeah. I'm really holding out for the 40-inch version. If I can sit 4 feet from it, I'll be okay. Okay, come on, seriously. Besides the 40-inch one probably costing $8,000, and 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. I mean,
so
you've been told your entire life growing up, don't sit so close to the television, and now they're selling TVs that say you have to sit close to the television.
So when are you going to replace your projector in the theater with one of these?
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole manufacturing is not underwritten by Dr. Beiser, because we're going to get some customers.
Well, what are you talking about? Companies always do what's best for the consumer.
Okay, I'm not even going to... Did I say Toshiba? I guess I did already. Toshiba's
I don't think you had,
but there are several others working on the same thing. I'm serious. The whole idea of 3D TV without glasses sounded great. Until this. I mean, it's like... dead.
When I saw this the first time, it was like a week after we had done a show talking about the $125 glasses or something like that. I see this and I'm like... Cool, this is awesome. And, they, like you said, they debuted the thing at CES with this humongous screen.
Yeah, they had a huge one.
Yeah, they had a huge one there.
You can stand a whole 8 feet from me.
Yeah.
Well, heck, even the new 3D Nintendo DS coming out, you can get further away than 24 inches.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Don't ever plan on hooking your Kinect to your 3D glasses.
And welcome to Buttrey Stadium, where the only place where you can actually play your Kinect and do it in 3D.
Okay. All right, moving on. I mean, this is going nowhere, but wow. I mean, seriously. You found a very, speaking of Kinect, just touch on the subject, then we're off of it.
Oh, well, yeah. Kinect has been, how long has Kinect been out?
November?
Oh, yeah, a month maybe?
Month,
3 weeks?
Month and a half.
Okay.
And it's
five,
been perverted
6
already.
weeks. And there is already a sex game in the offing.
Gosh, it didn't take long, did it?
They got a midnight release, so almost done it well.
And see, this is the truth of why Dean went out and bought a Kinect its first week out. Oh my goodness!
Because with Kinect, you are the controller. No, wait. Okay. All right. Panasonic in the
What if you like to be
news.
controlled?
It'll be a domination game. You hate All right. Panasonic in the news. They already own.
This is the best story since you went to the zoo.
80% of Sanyo. They just finished buying the other 20%. So now instead of Sanyo, it's Panasonic squared. No, no. Anyway, Panasonic owning 100% now of Sanyo. So the same company.
I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a Sanyo device was.
When Sanyo devices first started hitting the Walmart shelves, was 10 years ago? More than that, probably.
Yeah, 10 or 12, something like that. 14.
Surprisingly, they were better than I thought they were. That they would be. I was really thinking it was not going to be a very good electronic.
I think that's the TV that I replaced on Black Friday. My grandparents was a Sanyo.
Well, it had lasted for a while then. You said they had it for a while.
Yeah, about 15 years.
Yeah, so anyway, I really want us to look into this and see what Panasonic ends up doing as the sole owners of Sanyo, if they're going to get more innovative with it, or what is the plan? Is the plan just to sell cheaper electronics and not have to put the Panasonic name on it, or what's the deal there?
Speaking of Seoul, can I cut in?
Yes.
Seoul, give me a good segue. Seoul, South Korea. Samsung. They have sold 2 million Galaxy S devices compared to iPhone's 1.4 million this year.
Oh, now we're getting to the point that one brand of phone is catching up with iPhone.
Never mind
iPhone.
catching up. That's past.
Yeah.
Pretty sizably, it sounds like. 1.4, you said?
Yep, 1.4 for iPhone, 2 million
2.0 for...
for Samsung.
You know, 600,000 units.
Not
That's
just all of their phones. They're so 9.8 million across all their phones. Just the Galaxy S series, a high-end Android phone, 2 million.
600,000 units. That's a pretty good deficit.
Mm-hmm. And that's America.
I'm impressed. Those are Android devices. I'm impressed.
And we said Android was going to take over.
And has.
Like I said, I'm impressed. All right, while we're talking numbers, we got 2 minutes before our first break. Sony expected to sell 15 million PS3s by the end of their fiscal year in March. So that means they now have caught up with your Xbox sales and your Wii sales.
Well, they're expecting to. They've expected to sell that many for the last 6 years.
No, this is not just a projection. This is taking the numbers they have and moving forward. Okay.
It makes sense.
I don't know what their projection was.
Oh, God, they projected. I remember following that a few years ago. They projected wild and crazy numbers and hit like 20% every year.
Well, I mean, how many years did it take them to actually, for the PS3 to actually surpass the PS2 sales numbers?
I think it was about 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 years there. I mean, it took a long time.
Last fiscal year, Sony sold 13 million PlayStation 3s.
Okay, that's not too bad.
So this is 2 more million than they did last year.
Microsoft sold, I think, 20 million Xboxes last year.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But it's game sales where they're making. If you look at the dollar amount, they're making. Microsoft is killing it in game sales, in rights and liberties from that over Sony. Because people is buying Sony for the other features, not for the games.
Now, I don't have a real accurate comparison, but the last thing I'll throw out before the break, I know in November, Microsoft reported that they sold 1.3 million Xbox 360s, and Nintendo reported 1.2 million Wiis, which was pretty close.
Yeah.
But the only number I had on that I could find on the PlayStation was the 4.1 million units had been shipped to retailers in September in preparation for the season, but I don't know what the end figures were from those. Okay. All right. You're watching Tech Talk or listening to Tech Talk, whichever device you're you're getting to us with. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello and welcome back to Mr. Tech Talk with Chad Hembree. Once again, joining me in the studio, Mr. Jack Cates and Mr. Dean Buttry. Thanks for being here, guys. Well, I've got you, though, Dean. Go ahead and plug your business, DB Solutions.
Yes, DB Solutions. If you need anything from basic PC repair to network troubleshooting, exchange setup, we offer free consultations, free second opinions, anything you want. Give us a call at 859-982-9288. Or visit us on the web, and it's dbsolsinc.com. dbsolsinc.com.
All right. We had been talking about PlayStation sales before the break, and I don't think I'm going to revisit any of that because those numbers were pretty cut and dry. But while we're talking about devices and electronics in that form, let's talk about cell phones again for a minute. Recently, there was a survey done, and it turns out that over 50% of the 20s crowd, which would be late 20s crowd, which is your 25 to 29-year-olds, do not have landlines anymore. They only use cell phones. You are part of that statistic, right?
Yes, I'm 25 and own no landline. It's a waste of money. The Sprint calling plan, I can call anyone after 7 for free, and any other cell phone in America for free. No need to have a landline.
All right, Jack. I know you don't belong to that.
I can't belong to that.
Because at your home, you don't get decent cell service.
I don't get cell service at all where I live. So
there's a way to combat that.
Now, at my home...
Move?
No, the internet. He's talking about the internet.
The AirRave.
The AirRaves,
because I had the AirRave, and it worked great.
The what?
AirRave. It's like having a cell tower in your house. Speeds up your cancer.
Cute. As if I don't have enough devices at home.
You can talk.
Tell everyone
you can talk to that hole in your lip.
Yeah.
AirRave is a cool device. I have a couple people that I've set those up for. But the fact is it is available over the internet. It's like $5 a month charge or something like that.
Actually, if you call them and say that you don't get cell service in your house and you're thinking about going to another carrier, they give you one for free.
Now, that's pretty cool because in my house, the reason I don't have a cell only is because in my house,
he doesn't get service.
They don't work. On my front porch, on my back deck, anywhere in the yard,
now,
works fine.
I have to say the peculiar part is in his house, mine works.
Mine works, and I've got Sprint. No, because I would use mine in your house.
Mine doesn't.
Dude, you might get lucky every once in a while, but no, most of the time does not work.
Huh.
Verizon seems to come in okay. So that, Mike is very happy. He's trying to get me to switch over to Verizon. He was on the show the other day.
Yeah, just call Sprint and say, hey man, I'm thinking about switching to Verizon. I don't get service in my house, but I heard about your AirRave, and they'll send you one for free.
You've got me convinced I want to upgrade phones now, and Letha is really angry. So anyway, I thought that getting that Android tablet would like take that feeling away.
Nah, because you can't carry that around.
I thought about getting the phone service on it. It's, check out my phone.
You got your boom box and your Android tablet.
You're talking, but I'm talking.
You're the guy in the bar that goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Everyone knows what you're talking about.
Can you hear me now?
All right. So anyway, I want to know from our Tech Talk listeners out there, where do you stand on the cell phone issue? Do you only have a cell phone, or do you have both? Will you send us a message on the website? Just go in there, send us an email, whatever. Drop something on our website where you can do feedback. Let me know what you think about the phone coverage. Do you need your landline anymore? Do you want your landline anymore? Do you want to know more about AirRave?
I use one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you all about it.
As long as you have internet, it does fix the problem. So check it out, chadhembree.com, ChadHembree.com. Let us know something. All right, next story, guys. We're talking about numbers. Let's throw this number out there. And I know Never Press Pause was in the studio before us, and they were talking about games. Call of Duty, Black Ops, $1 billion in sales. Are we in the wrong business?
Yes.
Yes.
$1 billion for a game.
It's insane. It's bigger than the movie industry.
Far.
By far.
Especially considering how many games are there out there now that charge per month for use. I play one.
Yeah, 180 a year for World of
Warcraft. Yeah. I'm an idiot, but
12 million users.
That's
you in a small nation of people.
Yeah.
Actually, I belong to that group. Anyway.
And you don't even play.
No, yeah, I know. I think I logged in like, no, never mind. Letha's going to watch this. Guys, are you ready for Christmas? Now, this show actually plays on the radio Christmas Day, and then it also will play on the Monday after Christmas.
I've already celebrated Christmas. So
it's like getting looked at down somebody's nose and I've already celebrated Christmas.
I didn't mean it to be that facetious.
My Christmas comes early.
Santa knows I'm special.
So you have all your presents. What'd you get?
Nothing.
Christmas came early. You didn't get anything.
Christmas comes every day for him, I guess.
I got the joy of watching my daughter open up $400-something worth of video games.
Okay. So Mom didn't get you anything at all?
I think she might be tinting my windows in the car or something. I don't know.
And you have a living grandmother too, which I don't have.
I got $40.
$40 from your grandma? That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, $40. So I got $40 and possibly a tent job. So there you go.
Okay.
It's more than I've gotten.
Yeah, Christmas doesn't come for me till Saturday. I don't get the early Christmas. All right, well, congratulations on your early Christmas, Dean. No, it was awesome. You did get a lot of stuff for Jade.
Yes.
And I know she was so excited at the house the other night that Santa was coming early just for her.
Yep, for the Nintendo DS.
Now you have Jade again tonight, though, you said.
Yes, she's at my grandma's.
So now you actually... You tricked us. We thought it was the last time you'd be with us.
It was supposed to be, and this was an impromptu thing. So last minute decision, and my ex-wife let me have her.
You pulled a fast one on Santa, didn't you?
Yes. Maybe he'll show up twice.
Oh, is that the way it works? Okay. Well, anyway, all of our listeners and viewers out there, we do hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe traveling and enjoy your holidays.
And realize that Dean has just gotten moved to the naughty list.
Yeah, that's right. Dean's on your naughty list. We will be doing our year-end review show live again this year at Smokehouse Grill, same place we did it last year. It's exit 77 on I-75. Right off the exit there, center of Central Kentucky, for those listening in other parts.
Even I couldn't miss it. So
we would love to have you there. It's a wonderful place to do it. It's this huge room, huge fireplace to have it all decked out for us. And we do our year-end review show there every, we have the last 2 years. And anyway, it's such a a neat atmosphere.
It was so much fun last year, and like you say, a very interesting atmosphere. Perfect spot for doing this particular show. I mean, it's cozy, but yet open for a lot of people to come in and watch us be weird and silly, live.
Are we playing?
And we'll talk about the
game?
best of the year. We'll have some things on hand for you to see. Have some gadgets there, maybe a car or two. We'll never know what we'll have. We'll also have some giveaways. Now, it'll be a double special night because it'll be the first time that Never Press Pause is actually joining us for that event. And they're going to do their review of music and TV and movies and games. Kind of take that part away from us, leave us for our gadgets.
So you're going to have
I will still do
total dedication to gadgets.
I will still give a mention to games, and of course we always avoid movies and stuff, but to games, because I want to see if ours, when we tally up, matches what Never Press Pause did. I'm just curious, okay? Now, you guys, I need your alls. I'll be giving you an email with your sheets of things to vote on. Okay?
Oh man, we got homework.
Yeah, homework. So I need you to get that back to me.
Wait.
Can I
This is
copy
my
that?
Christmas break.
Okay, so do it over Christmas break. Anyway, the point is that it's a great show, and we would love to have you out there. So once again, exit 77 in Berea on I-75. It'll be on the 12th of January. It's a Wednesday night, and it'll start at 6 p.m. Plan on staying for 3 hours or so. That's usually what the full broadcast and eating and all that entails, about 3 hours. And there's no charge for anything but your food. You're welcome to come on out. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Plenty of parking, warm and cozy. I can't think of anything else. Oh, if you have any suggestions, that's what it is. If you have any suggestions for things that we've talked about this year that you might want us to add to the list, please send it in to us. Just go to chadhembree.com, drop us a note, let us know what you think would be the best products of the year or what your favorite product of the year was. We may give it a good mention. All right, in the news, Comcast has been trying to buy NBC Universal.
That's a big purchase.
That is a big purchase. So big that the FCC said, "Ha, you kidding?" So, I guess it's going to be put off until next year now. But we will be tracking that one because that one's going to affect the internet, entertainment, and everything across the board. Which leads me into Christmas because I'm taking my family. We're all going to Florida to spend Christmas at Hogwarts. We're actually going to Universal Studios, to the new Harry Potter theme park, and that's where we're spending Christmas. So I'm very excited about that. But, when Universal came up in the news, I was like, oh, yeah, that could be very interesting. Because I truly don't want to go to a theme park owned by Comcast. I don't. So I got to go now. No. And talking about Comcast and this NBC deal, of course, it's a perfect bridge into what just happened this week, and that is the FCC's rule on net neutrality. Now, I am sitting, once again, we need the Nerf guns because I'm sitting between two people that kind of sit on opposite sides of the net neutrality thing. Jack, you seem to lean like me. We're pretty conservative. We don't like the government controlling the companies. We like the companies to free enterprise. Mm-hmm. All right? And we like to see that work.
Right.
Dean? Yeah. Anyway,
You don't matter. That's
No, and actually in this case, you all are closer than you think because Dean actually said in the other room the other day that he wasn't so sure what he thought about net neutrality because once you start putting rules on something, how many more rules are you going to put on it later?
Well, freedom, I will say, freedom is it's either free or it's not, so to speak.
So you're saying ordering it to be free is not really...
Well, I'm sort of agreeing with Dean. You start putting rules, it leaves room to add more and more and more. And
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it just to protect us right now, but you put a shield up, you put a shield up, you put a shield up, eventually you're going to build a box.
Okay.
And-
all right. Here, let's.
Yeah.
For those of you listening right now who do not know what we're talking about, net neutrality is based on the theory that the internet should be open and available, so that if you buy Time Warner Cable Internet, the shows that are broadcast on TV.com, owned by CBS, are not blocked to you because you're just on one particular network. You have open access to every site on the web, always guaranteed to you as a right. It is not a right now. Anyone could block anything that they wanted to. There was, up until this ruling, there was no reason that a company was forced to let you see any website they could block it anytime they wanted. So the FCC got worried about this, and they made this set of rules that says, no, the internet's open, net neutrality, you can go anywhere on the net without restriction unless it's illegal. So BitTorrent can still be blocked, even with this ruling.
Actually, this little part right here. This is blocking illegal file sharing, which in part kicked off the latest version, a long time running drama, is not prohibited. Blocking file sharing, which is BitTorrent, is
That's
not.
what I said. It was exempt from this net neutrality.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so they cannot block.
They still can block it.
No, I thought it said.
No, it's just the opposite. It's not included. They can still block anything.
Oh, well, that sucks.
That's You're ready. You know what it is? You looked at it and you wanted it to be the other way so much.
Well, see, when it says prohibited, so it's
They're
not
prohibited. Read it again.
Yeah, blocking illegal file sharing is not prohibited.
Yeah.
No, it says
they're not.
The rules prohibit access providers from blocking lawful content. That means that unlawful content is not included in this, and
they can
therefore
block it.
can still be blocked.
But BitTorrent comes across in lawful channels.
We know that.
But so they can't block the
fact
BitTorrent
is
porn.
that
Well, frankly, the way that BitTorrent works in the first place, it can't be blocked. You block. It's like trying.
keep
It's
changing ports.
it's like trying to stop the Mississippi River with a stick. You can stick the stick in there, but the water's just going to go around it.
It's that Dirks Bentley song. He says he throws a rock into the river and it doesn't even know he's there.
Yes.
Pulling out a little country now. Okay. Anyway, the fact is, they can still block anything that's deemed illegal.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't like that. I knew you wouldn't like that. So we're talking about blocking legal sites. Okay. Here's the argument, both sides, net neutrality. One side says companies shouldn't be dictated by the government on what they should and should not be allowed to include in their paid services. The other side says that companies should not have the right to block things just because they want to block them. So you got two hard sides. One's called Democrat and one's called Republican. And right now, the FCC has more Democrats on it than it does Republicans, because the only two Republicans on the FCC voted against it. This is all going to change in about 6 days, right? No, more than that. 16 days. Well, I was thinking about the time the show plays. So 11 days from when the show airs.
Right.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's even going to hold. And there's a huge argument over whether or not the FCC even has the power to uphold this, because the court has already shot them down in a defense case against Comcast once already, because the court says you don't have the right to dictate to companies what they can and can't do.
Yep.
Or can and can't sell. Sorry, not do. Can and can't sell.
Well, this also goes up against another bill they're trying to pass about domain name seizures, which got shut down in November, but it's back up on the board.
Yeah.
So this is an opposing legislation.
All right, I'm going to tell you what. I personally, I've always been leaning. I'm kind of like Google. I kind of lean towards net neutrality because I don't want people blocking me. But on the other hand, I say, it's a slippery slope. Once you go down it, it's hard to stop rules and regulations just piling up on the internet. Okay.
Zig Heil.
You know,
So here's the thing. We'll go ahead real quick.
I really think that there is a side skirt around this.
Okay.
Disallow the monopolies that are currently allowed in telecommunications, particularly cable television. Because what percentage of us right now, I'm one of them, get our internet service provided through a cable company?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
We won't go there because I've wasted too much Tech Talk time on that. But I think that if we could just get rid of that, net neutrality, I think, becomes less of an issue. If Time Warner blocks my content because it's not a Time Warner station, then I go to Comcast.
I have one word answer for you before we go to break. It's called lobbyists.
I didn't say it would work.
Here's the
I said there's a way around it.
When we come back from break, I've got one more thing to talk about on this. Okay, you're listening to Tech Talk with Chad Hembree. Joining me, Jack Cates and Dean Buttrey. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello and welcome back. You listen to Tech Talk with Chad Hembree. Joining me in the studio, Jack Cates and Dean Buttrey. We were talking about net neutrality. I'll finish up very briefly. I think customers ultimately will have the say in what's offered. Now, in our area, we don't have a lot of options for some people, especially the ones that live outside of DSL range, i.e. Mr. Cates here, who has one offering for internet, which is, I know, bad. Sorry. And you're stuck with it. I know that. So you can't participate in some... Yeah, pull the fiddles out. You can't participate in some sort of a customer kind of standout or whatever block.
Yeah, I can't boycott.
Boycott. So let's take someone in a larger city like New York, which I think Time Warner's the cable provider in New York as well. I'm pretty sure.
Or even Lexington.
All right, Lexington, where you have 5 or 6 options for internet, or 4 or 5 anyway. If one company starts blocking sites that you want to go to, then once a few thousand people drop off their service, they start thinking, whoa, no, wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't do that. It's costing us money. Because isn't that what it's about? The money. They want to make money. That's why they blocked the stuff in the first place. They're thinking they're going to make a little more money. Mm-hmm. So
of course, the question is, when they weigh the numbers, would the loss of business make up for it?
I would think the subscription fees are always going to win out in the long run.
Well, that's their whole business model. Reoccurring. I mean, it's the whole reason. Like, you can go get a cell phone. A $600 phone costs you $50 because they bank on you signing the contract for 2 years.
But yeah, it's like the first inkjet printer I ever owned. Technically, with what I got, they paid me a nickel to take it.
Oh, but you had to buy
I paid $49.95 for the printer. It had a $50 rebate card in it. So they gave me a nickel to take the printer, but it's $49 a cartridge for ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lexmark?
No, wait a minute. The new Lex... you know what? I don't normally advertise like that, but the new Lexmarks... With the $5 ink cartridge? Awesome.
Wait, what?
You didn't know that. Lexmark's new line
has a $5 ink cartridge.
$5 ink cartridge. It is awesome.
$5 ink cartridge.
Would you come back and do that in like a dress or something, or a cheerleader? Isn't that what he does? It's okay. I had Subway. Yep. It's okay. I had a $5 ink cartridge. All right.
I think this is my last show.
I'm out of here.
I'll host it all by myself.
Google TV. I was so excited when the review came out for Logitech, right? So excited that I haven't went and bought one yet. Why haven't I done that?
Because there's nothing available.
I keep watching the battle go on for content for Google. Google, the king of advertising, is turning out to be the Neanderthal of negotiating rights for TV shows, okay? I mean, they are not doing a great job. And you know who is? Netflix, absolutely. And I stay subscribed to Netflix. And I can watch Netflix on my Wii, I can watch Netflix on my computer, I can watch Netflix on my Blu-ray player. And, of course, I get the Netflix DVDs. So Netflix is working for me. Right now, Google TV would not be working for me. It just does not have the content.
No. Well, they have clout, but just not in digital media like that.
And why is it? Why are they not able to do that? I mean, we're talking about a company with a huge stock value, with great customer rapport, good reputation in the business world. Why will the media companies not play with them? Is it because they come across as bullyish, or is it because they don't want Google to jump in gung-ho because they might do it better? Or is it because Netflix took its time and did the traditional handshake, let's get this done right, and made it work, where Google just jumped in and said they're going to do it because we're Google?
Well, Ollie, I've been talking
Go
about
ahead.
this episode. I think it's the entertainment industry is afraid because movies, TV is moving to an internet-based platform accessed all the time, and they hate that because they make less money in that platform, but that's the trend. Google is all about information sharing, opening things up. You start doing that, they're going to want to put all your TV shows open for everybody, all the seasons, and they're not going to go buy the DVDs. They're not going to buy the Blu-rays. And I think the entertainment industry is afraid of Google for that fact. Netflix is doing it because they have gone through the traditional routes and they found the loopholes and they've done it, and they're succeeding in that through loopholes and legislation that's been passed in their favor. But Google, I think, is really making them afraid.
There was no need for me to talk because I was I was going to go the same direction you were, Dean, because Google. Look at what Google produces. Chrome. All the apps that they've got for websites, all that stuff. Do we pay a dime for any of these things?
Not a single bit.
I'm sitting here looking at Google Chrome right now. Never paid a dime for it.
I want a round table.
I was going to ask you during a break why you didn't have a.
I want a.
Should we start calling you Bill?
What?
Bill Maher?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't want to set up like his. No.
But yeah, they specialize in providing the most bang for the least buck. Mm-hmm. You look at GOS. You look at all the things that, or what is it, Chrome OS now, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever the flavor of the week is for. But that's their specialty. That's what they do.
Yep.
And
entertainment
if I were in the entertainment industry where everything revolves around all of these rights and all of these, I mean, you look at, there's a reason the RIAA and the MPAA exist. It's to maintain those digital rights.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to revisit that story later in another show because there's going to be a lot more down the road on that one.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dean,
we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
I'm sorry, man, but you're going to have to get your Connect games now because you can't get your adult services on Craigslist anymore.
Shucks.
Apparently, Craigslist did officially cut off all adult services advertisements across worldwide.
How will I get a hold of my nude maids?
I'm sorry, man. You're just gonna have to go get them on your own now. Probably nudemaid.com.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's not going to be that hard. But the point is, Craigslist has cut it off, and you know what? I don't blame them because there's been a few bad things happen. You know, people getting tricked into going somewhere.
Oh yeah,
robbed,
that kind of stuff. So I can understand why they did that.
I just have one question about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What took so long?
You know what?
This is a question that has
pride. It was the pride of the Craigslist company saying, look, we don't want to admit that we put something out there that's not working. You see? That is being used. Their thing is it's being used incorrectly. It's not our fault.
Yeah, but come on.
Well,
This has been 2 years in the offing. Or more.
we talked about this a week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere at your house, maybe. And again, it goes back to my whole thing. How many people scam people on? By my iPhone. They're scamming people that way too. You could show up. There was actually a robbery. Someone was showing up to buy a big screen. They got robbed in their own house because the people showing up to buy their big screen robbed them. They weren't getting an erotic massage. They're getting a big screen. It can happen in any Craigslist ad.
Craigslist killer.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it's gone. So don't be going there looking for your adult services anymore.
Tier.
All right, tier. Yeah. Skype had an outage global. I missed this. Did either of you get?
I use Google now.
I'm a Skype user and I wasn't affected, so I guess I just missed the time frame.
All right. Well, I missed it. I was hoping one of you all had experienced something from it. IBM in the news. Did you see this?
I heard about it.
This is pretty cool. NATO has offered IBM the contract to build their cloud-based communication service.
Wow.
To help improve the communications for the NATO countries.
Nice.
It's a great score for Big Blue.
Yeah, it is.
IBM could use this. This will work to their benefit all the way around, and it'll build rapport with several countries.
Yeah, well.
Well, what, 20, 21, 22, 20, 28 members? Is that what we're up to now?
Something like that, yeah. Let me look that up just to confirm.
Like 4 important ones, the other ones just kind of.
And they're all important, man. That's NATO is our biggest group of allies, and we need to stick to that one, and has been traditionally for a long time. The fact is, this is going to be great for IBM, and we are going to follow it because it's going to be a huge endeavor for a cloud-based computing system, and I really want to follow the security on it, how they're going to keep it tight.
Yeah, that's my thing.
28.
But see, 28.
28.
IBM's large enough to pull this off.
Oh,
and it will be a good score for them.
Well, they've been making strides in the whole Unix front forever, so I have full faith in IBM.
I think it's going to be great. Okay, last story for this week, I believe. How many time have we got left?
11 minutes.
11 minutes, yeah. There's a couple things I want to talk about. This is the last news-based story. Microsoft in the news with their IE9 browser, right? Have you used it?
I've used it for 2 months, and you can see what icon is sitting on my taskbar now.
You went back to Chrome.
8. IE8.
Oh, you went back to
I
8.
uninstalled it today. It got on my nerves. I can't hardly use any. I can't browse my Linksys router. I have to navigate to each page twice before the page will open.
Okay, you're finding the kinks in it, which is exactly right. There are some kinks, but let's
it's
look
still
at the
beta,
positives.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It openly operates on all the web standards, including HTML5, and it's by far the fastest one out now. Oh, it is. Every test across the board, it's the fastest.
Maybe it's where I'm at then in my service, because I really have not noticed a discernible difference between IE9 and Chrome.
Uses full hardware acceleration, so I don't know where you're at on that. So
I would think that my PC would be able to handle that and show and demonstrate it, considering the fact that I'm using a 32-bit system that is, running Windows 7 32-bit edition, and has the hardware to handle it with ease.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I need to download the newest beta version and try it. But I will say I didn't when I saw it in action the first time. Now I didn't use it a lot. But when I saw it in action the first time, I didn't really see a discernible difference. in speed.
I had to quit using it myself because there was a site that I have to go to quite often that does not support it for work. And it just got annoying doing the multi-browser thing. So I went back to Chrome. And Chrome is doing fine for me, and I'll just keep using it for a while. I like the plugins for Firefox, and I encourage people to use Firefox because it's a good, secure browser. It's very safe.
Yep.
And the add-ons are kind of convenient, but it's slower. So I can't wait until the new Firefox 4 comes out and they start utilizing some hardware acceleration and things. But right now I'm sticking to Google Chrome. As far as looks are concerned, I think Apple's Safari browser looks fantastic. Their opening page where you can do the multiple view of your sites, have you seen that?
I haven't used Safari in a very long time.
It's nice. It looks and it feels really good. Opera, I don't like the feel of Opera. Opera seems to be solid and it has a lot of neat features. The online stuff that you can do with Opera, like where you can remotely share your shortcuts across multiple computers. You can remotely take over another computer.
But
That's the whole file sharing thing.
Other browsers, though, so that's kind of moot.
So Opera's done a good job of pulling all that together, and I like the Opera, the company behind it. They're
phone browsers, Nintendo.
The mobile browser
stuff.
is really good. Yeah. The new mobile browser for Android 2.2 has really good Flash integration in it.
Yep.
So I've noticed that a lot of people are liking that.
Yep. It's very good.
But with Internet Explorer 9, I guess what I was wanting to get out to our listeners and viewers is that if you want to play with it, that's fine, but it replaces Internet Explorer that you have. So it's you don't have much choice of just experimenting with it and seeing if you like it. I mean, you really are going all the way forward and replacing Internet Explorer 8. And if you use 8 for certain sites that you need it for that are designed around that, then you're going to have problems. So I suggest, and unless you're just a tinker type person like I am and you just want to try it out, stay away from it until we give it the thumbs up, because right now it's just, there's too many problems. Even though the speed is there, even though the support for web standards is there, it's just not a green light yet. You agree?
I completely agree. And Microsoft is taking the standpoint now of publicizing all their betas, and I think it's tricking a lot of people. And I think that I also believe that people is going to think that's vindicative of the final product. But yeah, don't believe the hype. You're going to go to Microsoft's website and say, download IE9 beta. Most people don't even know what beta means. Just don't do it yet, unless you want to play it. This is not really going to break anything. You uninstall it and IE8 comes back. That's what I did today. It took me 15 minutes, including a reboot.
So it didn't take too long to get it back, but the fact that you had to go through the process.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're down to our last 3 minutes. I want to thank you for being on the show. Jack Cates, Dean Buttrey, thanks for being here.
Peace
I
out.
hope you all have had a good year here on Tech Talk. And
Well, we haven't
looking
engaged
forward
in a
to
fist
next
fight
year.
yet
No?
on the air, so we're.
You doing okay? The Nerf gun thing's still sticking up in my head, man. I like the idea.
Yeah, I think the fist fight might boost ratings, though. More
Gratuitous violence.
Yeah.
Well,
Jerry Springer.
it would.
Mud wrestling? You don't want to see that.
What is wrong with
Who
you?
wants to see that? Oh my gosh. Get him out of the studio now. Cameraman gone wild. But
we know who's in line for the Kinect game.
you can find us on the web at www.chadhembree.com. That's CHADHEMBREE.com. You can also find us on Apple's iTunes, which has not been updated in quite some time, I'm sorry to say, because I'm working on the video stuff to get it on there. But we are on there, and we do have a channel. Also, you can find us on Ustream. We actually have a channel on there, and sometimes during our recordings, we do those live. So check those out on Wednesday nights and see if we're on there. You can send us email messages, contact us, just go to the website. We'd love to hear from you. Once again, we're looking for input for our best of 2010, which will be live at the Smokehouse Grill in Berea, Kentucky on exit 77, I-75 at 6 o'clock p.m. We'd love for you to join us. We always have a great show and have a really good time. We actually overfilled the room last year, so I think we'll probably have them set up a few more tables this year and try to make it accommodate a few more. It was pretty much standing room only last year. Yeah. So we'll get there early. If you can get there a little before 6, you'd be doing yourself a favor. All right, thanks for being on the show, guys. I want to thank Dwayne Shelton, our sound guy, for doing so well for us this year. We appreciate it. And Nick Shelton for being the most excellent cameraman. Just keep your opinions to yourself.
Please.
No, thanks a lot. We do appreciate you all and the work that you do. I want to thank Bob New for being on the show this season. I want to thank Mike Beagle. Who am I missing here?
A few.
Press pause, guys.
Yeah, all of our buddies from Never Press Pause.
Yeah, Bill Yarnell, Lyle Bailey, Jeremy Grant. Let's see, David Kilburn's been on the show.
Don Yates.
Let's see,
We've had
was
a lot of guests this year.
and Jason Hartnell has been on the show.
Jamie Poff.
Jamie
He
Paul,
did a couple of shows with
Jonathan Van Winkle. He deserves a hand.
Thank you so much for participating this year on Tech Talk. We've had a great year. Merry Christmas. Have a good holidays and a happy new year. Thanks again for listening.